Are you looking to level up your magnification game? Whether you're a beginner photographer or a seasoned professional wanting to add another genre to your belt, we'll help you turn into an expert macro photographer in no time. Before we start, let's break down the basics. Macro photography highlights smaller subjects and allows us to get up-close views that we typically don't see with the naked eye. It's used in almost every art form, from travel to action photography, making it one of the most useful tools of the trade. For an image to be considered macro photography, the subject must be shot at 1:1 magnification. This means a 1-inch subject is projected at 1 inch on the camera sensor. While some people think 1:2 magnification qualifies as macro photography, it isn't true macro unless it shows the subject at life-size ratio. Now that we've covered our bases, let's jump into the best macro photography setups. First things first, you're going to need a camera and a lens. Fortunately, you don't have to break the bank to achieve gorgeous macro shots. If you're on a budget, you can't go wrong with the Canon EOS 60D. This DSLR offers improved image quality and ISO settings that allow you to capture stunning details at any time of day. It doesn't have as many features as pricier alternatives, but it's an excellent choice for those starting out. Luckily for Canon fans, there's several affordable options when it comes to macro lenses for Canon DSLR cameras. For those just starting out, we recommend pairing your 60D with the Canon EF 50mm f2.5 macro. This lightweight lens is the shortest in Canon's catalog. While the 50 macro only offers native 1:2 magnification, it's an excellent choice if you're just dipping your toes in the water. The lens features lightning-fast autofocus with minimal distortion. And if you really want 1:1 magnification, you can achieve it by pairing the lens with the Canon Life-Size Converter EF.
So this is the 60D. Great camera, very entry level. So I feel like with the 50, it's definitely for a tighter shot. So like I would grab this if I'm doing a super detailed shot of like insects, plants, or like super close details on a face, like an eye or, something like that.
Because when I got close, I touched them. So it's very easy to use. I think that the focusing is really easy to. It's easy to make sure that you're in focus because the viewfinder is really clear. The lens is not bad. It's like a nifty 50. It's really small and lightweight. It's got this additional ring here to show the focusing distances. Yeah, it's really nice. That's my best one so far.
An important reminder for people getting started in macro photography is to be mindful of your subject. It may seem like anything small is perfect for macro photography, but in reality, this isn't the case. Make sure the subject you select is easily discernible when seen up close. A detailed image of a ladybug might be breathtaking, but a zoomed-in shot of a shoelace may leave people feeling confused instead of impressed. As we move on to the intermediate level, we'll be sticking to quality kit from Canon. If you're a macro photographer with limited experience, you can't go wrong with the Canon EOS 5D Mark III. Another outstanding DSLR option, the 5D Mark III offers exceptional EOS performance with a 22 megapixel full-frame sensor. Its high-strength magnesium alloy body allows you to capture stunning macro shots in any conditions, so you never have to worry about bad weather getting in your way. There's no better lens to accompany the 5D Mark III than the EF 100mm f2.8 USM. A true 1:1 macro lens, the EF 100mm isn't quite as light as the 50, but it's surprisingly comfortable to carry. The lens focuses incredibly fast, but it doesn't sacrifice accuracy while doing so. At f2.8, the sharpness and contrast will leave you more than happy with your purchase.
I'm using the 5D Mark III, good old faithful. So this is going to be the Canon EF 100 2.8. You feel that difference between this very pro body, but very, lower end lens. Nonetheless, it's still a great lens. It's definitely on the affordable side, and I could understand why somebody might want this. So funny.
If you're an intermediate macro photographer, remember to pay close attention to depth of field. It can be tough to find a sweet spot between sharpness and depth of field, but if you're able to shoot your subject on a single plane of focus, you'll be able to capture a stunning image with a satisfying background. You can also use smaller apertures to increase the depth of field, which ensures the subject will remain in focus. Smaller apertures can cause reduced sharpness though, so it's important to take time to find a balance that works for you. Last but not least, it's time for the advanced setup. For those who have been in the macro photography game for a while now, you need a camera that performs at the absolute highest level. Enter the Canon 5DSR. With unbeatable sharpness and a wide array of features, the 5DSR captures subjects up close with incredible precision. The high ISO performance and normalized dynamic range will stand out when you first use it. It also offers high-speed continuous shooting at up to 5 frames per second to make quick shots easier to capture. Need a new advanced lens? We've got you covered there too. The Canon EF 100mm f2.8 LIS USM macro is a nearly flawless lens for macro photography. This versatile lens packs a punch with its close-up capabilities, ultrasonic focusing, and jaw-dropping image stabilization that reduces camera shake. Its weather-sealed build is incredibly durable, so you can rest assured that the lens will perform well anytime, any day.
This is one of my favorite Canon lenses ever made, so I actually think it's the next thing I'm gonna buy. It's just extremely sharp. It's really soft and smooth when it's focusing. It's a really good macro lens because it makes sure that the edges, I feel like, are accounted for, so you don't have blurry edges. I am using the Canon EOS 5DSR. It gives you so much more freedom. Of course, you need to know what to do with the freedom. That's why it's an advanced kit, but you can crop in. Yeah, you can see more detail. Oh, it's not, sorry, it's not a touchscreen. Yeah, you're able to crop in more with this one since there is higher megapixel count. Oh,
We got some drip and drop.
As an expert macro photographer, you've already learned a lot about the genre, but there's always room to improve. Remember to make sure all of the subject is captured sharply. Precisely measure and maximize the depth of field while making sure your subject remains in the plane of focus. If you aren't able to achieve this, it's likely because you aren't keeping your camera parallel to the subject. Plan your point of focus before you start shooting to drastically improve the outcome of your image.
nice.
That's it from us. If this video helped you improve as a macro photographer, sound off in the comments below and make sure to like and subscribe. My name is Colleen, and we are MPB.